arises upon the third reading and final passage of House Bill number 3596. Representative Roblin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a great continuation of amazing work the legislature has done and the rest of Oregon in trying to help us keep a rail line to the Coos Bay, actually Coquille area. This rail line began service to this area in 1916, and in 2007, the group who was managing it chose to stop managing. At that time, a number of people here, and I want to particularly acknowledge the work that then member Susan Morgan, now County Commissioner from Douglas County, in having set up a transportation work group down in our area, southern region, have done to assure continuous work on that and eventually to have the Port of Coos Bay become the owner. New negotiations have resulted in the ownership going all the way to Coquille and then to Denebo, Oregon. That line is being repaired, and with the last of a Tiger II grant that was just received, will be operational, we expect, in September. When the line was closed, it put at risk many jobs in the South Coast. This continuation means that those jobs will continue to stay there. The companies have moved their freight using trucks, which has been much more expensive for them. They've actually laid off people over the period of time because the expenses were so high. But with the reintroduction of the rail line, all of them are gearing up to be able to produce at a lower cost products from the South Coast, from American Bridge to Southport, a little sawmill on the North Spit, to a new company, Oregon Resource Corporation, which will be delivering sand to the rest of the nation. This is a very important link. This is the last part that we asked for. When they were finally getting ready to run and operate the line, it came to their attention that it goes through a number of different port districts, the Coos Bay Port District, and then into the Siuslaw Port District, also the Umpqua Port District, and finally up through to Eugene. And in order to run it, they believed that this bill was necessary to give them authority over the entire rail bed and allow them to do the work that they need to do. I have checked with each and every one of the ports, and they are all in agreement with that. I've also checked, and as you'll see on the list of sponsors, all of the members whose districts are engaged have signed on. I appreciate the work of all of those people. I appreciate all of the southern region legislators who have helped make sure that we continue to have rail service to our area, and to our federal delegation who has made it a priority as well. So again, I urge you and I support to finish a project that we've been working on for a number of years. The tunnels that we talked about at the beginning have all been repaired and fixed. There are over 100 water crossings they're still working on, and they're doing all of that at a reasonable and under expected costs. I appreciate the work of the Port of Coos Bay in making this happen. I urge your support.
Further discussion, Representative Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
I wanted to take just a brief moment, I know we're short on time, to thank the Speaker from the Dunes for all his hard work on this. Many of the members of the Shipping Coalition, the Shippers Coalition, are from my district, and this is a vitally important link for people in the valley, so it is a very important piece of, a little piece, but a very important piece to finish this work that has been going on for many years, started by the previous legislator from my district, working with many members of this body. Again, thank you for the work, and I would appreciate an aye vote on this.
Further discussion, Representative Nathanson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the representative from the Dunes for bringing this bill forward. It's important not only to the South Coast, but to the entire county, Lane County, and into the entire state. I think we need to get much more serious about rail. This is one of those things that shows we can get more serious about rail. It's extremely critical to the state's economy to be able to ship more goods, products, whether it's manufacturing or agriculture, by rail. It's important to our region's economic recovery. So I'm in support of this bill. Thank you.
Further discussion, Representative Holvey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the bill.
To the bill.
Colleagues, I just wanted to rise for a few minutes and just acknowledge a lot of the hard work that went into making this rail happen, and also recognize former Representative Susan Morgan as well, and our Speaker, Arnie Roblin. This really was a long, drawn-out battle that we almost lost this rail line as Rail America tried to abandon this line, and there were some of us that went and testified before the Surface Transportation Board when they came, and that united front of legislators from both sides of the aisle helped stop that rail line from being abandoned, and we would have lost that corridor, that link, a huge piece of economy for Southwest Oregon that, as been mentioned, comes through many of our districts and stops in a lumber town in my district as well. And there are a lot of jobs at both ends of this rail line, and I'm convinced that rail line is going to, in the future, produce a lot more jobs. So thank you very much. I urge an aye vote, and thank you to all the people that worked on this.
Representative Roblin, do you wish to close? I'm sorry, is there further discussion? Hearing none, Representative Roblin, do you wish to close?
Just briefly, this is a jobs bill. It makes a big difference to people all along this line that we continue to make sure that we use rail appropriately to deliver products across this country. I would love to see it at some time look at a passenger rail because it's a beautiful sight to go along, but for right now we need to move rail. We need to do it to keep the jobs on the South Coast and all over Oregon. I would urge an aye vote.